Good morning, everyone. Good morning, judges. I'm in grade 9 grade, and my project for you today is a solar tracker. So, what's the number one problem that we have with solar electricity generation? Well, solar panels usually are stagnant and they are always facing one direction, which is the highest point at which the sun will shine throughout the day. So, because of this, when the sun is not at its peak, there is very low solar power generation, and we have to turn off certain appliances like fridges, dispensers. Sometimes we don't even use appliances like irons or game consoles. So my solar tracker project, its main function is to find an innovative way in which we can improve how our solar panels are designed and how we use them. So the steps that I took to make this, or the materials that I used, a solar panel, 2 transistors. Some people could call them a photoresistor, but I will call them transistors, and I'll explain why in a minute. A stepper motor. We have an Arduino Uno R3 motherboard. This will act as the brain of our whole project, our whole solar tracker. And then over here we have resistors, not to be mixed with the photoresistors, which I'll refer to as the transistors so that we don't get confused. So the purpose of these is that when the transistors send information all the way down to where they are connected at the 5 point on the breadboard, the resistors turn that information into something that the motherboard can understand, because the transistors react and send information in forms of volts, but the Arduino board reads code and written information. So the resistors convert that voltage and that power into code that the board can understand. So how it works is, here we have our base code. We have our base code over here, and as you can see, we have different segments for what the code is. So over here we have the segment for the pins, which are the 2 metal wires that come from the transistors. We have connections for the pins, we have connections for the board itself, the solar panels. There's a code for everything. So once you have connected and wired everything to the breadboard, which is this white base here, when you have connected everything correctly, the lights are going to light up. So what we do now is test our project. So I'll be using a headlamp because the sun obviously moves gradually over time, so I can't really use the sun if I want to show how it moves right now. So what happens is, it moves depending on which transistor the light is shining on more. So this box, in this cardboard piece in the middle, serves as a demarcation to cast a shadow over the one that the light is not shining on. So an important thing to note is that the motor and the transistors will not do anything if the sun is shining on both transistors. So if the sun is shining on both transistors, it is stagnant because the sun is shining directly onto the solar panel. So in theory, the sun would shine on the solar panel because of the movement of it turning into its direction, and that solar energy that is converted could be used to power houses. So I feel like this type of technology has not been implemented in our country yet. So it would be a good and perfect way to innovate how we create and use solar panels in our everyday lives.